WrestleZone presents Lost in the Midcard. Here are your hosts, Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where may it be possible that we see two color commentators come out of retirement in the same year? Maybe. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. Midway through September already. Of course, we were off last week. I was in Denver having a little fun at an Incubus concert, but we are back. We are here to talk a little bit all out. We'll give us some quick thoughts on that show from last week, as well as a lot of things happening in the wrestling world as it continues to be a wild 2024. If you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to WrestleZone on YouTube. Hit the bell icon so you know every time we go live, and hit the thumbs up on the video as well. Help us get this out to as many people as well. We appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. We got Howdy, Uncle Howdy. We got MK Ozzy, Mark Cho, all in the house tonight. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And if you are just watching us casually, thank you as well. And join in the chat. Ask us anything, anytime, any place, anywhere. And we'll get that to you. So with that said, I am your host. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. My name is Jeremy Bennett. And as always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime, is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm here, man. It's been a wild day. Lost track of time. Ran around like a chick with my head cut off to get this show ready to roll. But we're here. We made it on time. We got some pro wrestling to talk about between now and Raw.
We do.
Let's hope for another fun week of professional wrestling, and we're gonna be here to talk with you all about it.
Yeah, lots going on. Of course, the big thing, which we'll get to after All Out, is of course the move. Of course, USA is going to have a monopoly on WWE with Raw, NXT
for a few weeks.
Yeah, for a couple weeks until October 1st. And then, of course, once the new year hits, they will only have SmackDown, but a very explosive, loaded SmackDown. We'll get through that. But first, lost to the NFL mid-card. Yes, it is week 2 in the books, because week 1, I was gone, so we didn't have a show. Week 2, my Bears are 1-1. Not bad. They didn't look great last night, but we're in it all game. At least they didn't get blown out, so that was all right. Bengals, yeah, they always suck. Early. I saw Joe Burrow's record through the first 2 weeks of the season in 5 years. He's 1-9. 1-9 in 2 weeks of his career. First 2 weeks of his career.
That's really weird.
Yeah, they are very slow starters, apparently.
Well, all I know is my Steelers are 2-0.
Yep.
My fantasy team's 2-0. Everything's coming up. Showtime right now in the world of the NFL. So I'm very happy right now.
I scored the most points in my big money league. That's even counting with whatever happens tonight. I'm like ahead of the next guy by 50. I had Alvin Kamara, and this was with Josh.
Well, that would have been helpful.
This was with Josh Allen stinking up the joint on Thursday even. But I had Alvin Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, Calvin Ridley had a great game. CeeDee Lamb.
I would have my
Steelers
win,
defense.
My second week win would have been a lot more comfortable had Richardson not thrown 3 picks yesterday.
Yeah.
What can you do?
I have Richardson in one league, and I also started him in a couple of DraftKings leagues, and didn't even play Kamara in DraftKings, but yeah, a lot of people trying to say the Chiefs, the refs helped them to get that, but no.
Look.
Ah!
I have Butker. as my fantasy kicker, and he got me an extra 5 points at the end of that game. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care about your whining about the freaking referees and about the bungles and everything. They had an entire game to pull away and win that game.
They
did.
did.
Do it.
And if we in a week or two, if we look different, we are going to have to move to a different provider. We are going to hopefully have a seamless transition. The next week will be perfectly fine, business as usual. But the end of the month, we're going to be working on some things here, and hopefully it's a seamless transition as we move to a new streaming home. StreamYard decided to be only available for the elite Hollywood people, apparently, with the price hike they gave. So we're going to try to find a new home, but we're going to make it hopefully as seamless as possible. We got
hopefully.
But if we do have to take a small hiatus while we get things worked out, we will let you know on our Twitters again. Rob show.
We've got a couple weeks to figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hopefully seamless. It feels like it's going to be. It may look a little different. And
well, if our goal is you guys wouldn't notice any difference at all. But
yeah, we'll see how that works.
Look, MK, I know the Steelers only scored 1 touchdown in 2 weeks, but we've won both games. You play to win the game. It doesn't matter how many points you win by. It doesn't matter how many touchdowns you score. It matters that your defense shows up when your freaking offense sucks. It wins you the games. And that's what they've done, and I'm good with it.
Especially since they expanded the playoffs, it's weird. Only 2 teams have started 0-2 have gone to the playoffs.
I'm loving that. I'm loving the Ravens and the Bungles being 0-2. I'm very, very happy about that.
There is one team in 22 and one team in 23 made the playoffs after starting.
Hopefully, it's neither of them in 24.
Yeah, I think the Bengals always one of those teams, to be honest, because they're always slow.
They probably were.
Yeah, they're always a slow starter.
Because Chase has really sucked for me the first 2 weeks.
He's more focused on getting paid.
He's one of the least performers. Here's the thing. Here's my main issue with that. This dude really wants to get paid. Then go out there and ball out. You going out there stinking up the joint right now? Why is anybody going to want to pay you the money that you think you deserve? Go out and freaking ball and show people why you deserve the new contract, Chase. Because if you can't do that, then you're not going to get the money you want next season because everybody's just going to point to what you did this year and say, forget you.
Yeah. I don't know. It is odd.
I don't know about that. I think the Cowboys are going to have a point to prove next week. And I think they're gonna be out for blood. I think the Cowboys are gonna whoop the Ravens' ass in week. I think the Ravens could go 0-3. It is a very distinct possibility.
Yeah, that defense. It was just like last year because I had the Dallas defense in a couple leagues last year too. I have them in a couple leagues this year as well. And it's like there's 1 week they'll score you 35, and then there's 1 week they give up 35. It's wild. But let's go into what happened last weekend. All Out AEW, Chicago. It's usual home. All Out moving away from Chicago next year, right? Because
that has not been confirmed.
Not been confirmed. All In is in Texas. Matt and I.
All In's in Texas. Yeah.
Matt and I are thinking about going.
And Forbidden Doors in London.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. All Out, maybe still in Chicago. Who knows? But
I would be shocked if it's not. Tony Khan loves Chicago way too much.
Oh God, does
maybe
he?
To an unhealthy degree. So I don't think All Out will probably ever leave Chicago. I think it's just going to be one of those events that are stuck there.
Yeah, probably.
I think Double or Nothing needs to move. It's way too close to. It's way too close to WrestleMania.
Oh, move time.
There's no way I'm running an AEW pay-per-view out there like a month and a half after WrestleMania. No freaking way.
No.
They have to be smarter than that. There's plenty of gambling places in the United States. Put it in Atlantic City, New Jersey, or something like that. Just get out of Vegas next year. It would be a very bad move on AEW's part to run that.
0 Hour saw the Acclaimed defeating the Iron Savages, Hologram.
Why are you even talking about 0 Hour? 0 Hour fucking sucked.
Did it?
This
I didn't watch it.
This was 0 Hour's the worst 0 Hour AEW's ever put on. Like when we were done with 0 Hour, and I'm like, oh my god, can we just start the show already? 0 Hour sucked.
Yeah, you had
like there was no thought put into the matches. They threw a whole bunch of shit at the wall to see what stuck. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst pre-shows AEW has ever done. And I've always praised how good AEW's pre-shows are to convince people to want to buy the actual pay-per-view. 0 Hour sucked. It doesn't even deserve to be talked about.
And it's like, and then WWE runs these 2-hour pre-shows. They have no matches, but it's like, well, if you do hour and a half pre-show with 4 matches that suck, I mean, which one's better? I don't know. Skipping them both, I guess.
It mattered. They were just like all thrown together. It was bad. I'm like, I don't even want to justify any more time on 0 Hour. Let's move on to the main card.
First, what the hell was Beast Mortis doing with Shane Taylor's promotions? Answer that for me.
They explained that on either Collision or Rampage or whatever that he was paid by Shane Taylor Promotions to be their partner. He's basically like Mortis is basically like a gun for hire right now, and he'll team up with anybody who pays him.
Looks like he'll probably be the next opponent for Ricochet, which should be a good match, I would assume.
He don't like the flippy dudes, man. He's beating the shit out of Hologram. He's beating the shit out of Ricochet. Like Beast Mortis don't like the flippy dudes, man. He don't like them.
Oh,
not a fan.
That flippy chant on Wednesday was pretty funny.
My one friend was very upset by that chant.
Upset?
He was very upset.
Why upset?
He's not a big fan of the flippiness.
Oh,
so he was.
So he's a Braun Strowman.
He was very, very upset by that chant.
He's a Braun Strowman. We kicked things off with one of the hottest feuds in AEW, the second hottest feud, I would say. Maxwell, Jacob Friedman, Danny Garcia. We don't get no dancing Danny. We got Red Death Danny as he's pissed off at what MJF has done to him, costing him months of his career. And a lot of blood has been shed leading up to this match. And, of course, no surprise, a lot of blood was shed during the match. Matt, I saw your tweet that you did not like the finish. You did not like Max going over Danny, even though Danny got the upper hand with the pile driver off of the second turnbuckle. But you were not a fan of the finish.
No, I didn't like the finish at all. And AEW is in a double-edged sword situation right now. So it came out after the match from Ibu of Wrestle Purist that the plan was they wanted Garcia to go over, but they wanted him to sign his new deal.
That's right.
By the pay-per-view, and he had not signed his new deal yet. So AEW chose to go ahead and put MJF over instead because one's under contract for many years to come and one's not. And I'm assuming they ran what was supposed to be the finish of the match as the aftermath.
Yeah, because
here's the problem.
MJF's taking him some time off.
Yeah, he has to go film a movie apparently.
Yep.
Here's the problem, and I want your opinion on this. Let's say you're weighing an option on 2 different jobs, and your contract with your one job's up in like a month and a half or whatever, but you think you're gonna stay. But there's interest from the other. That there's interest from the other place. The place that you're at knows that there's interest from the other place. If the place that you're with right now has the opportunity to do something good for you, and chooses not to just because you haven't re-signed your deal yet, does that make you think twice about wanting to sign with them and going to the other place instead? Or does not that have any bearing on your mind whatsoever?
Well, I think as much as Danny's been featured leading up to the end of his contract, I think it's this match. The losing doesn't hurt him. Obviously, he got his heat back. MJF's going to be gone for some time. This feud is over. Danny can go on. He's going to eventually be a singles champion at some point. And that's going to be a lot easier in AEW than WWE. He ain't going to come into WWE and be the IC champ or the US champ for a while.
Oh, let's be real. If he jumps, he's going to NXT.
Probably, yeah.
He's not going to the main roster.
I guess he could be.
There's only a select few that they're going to let bypass NXT.
Yeah, I mean,
Look, if we're going to be talking about them later on in the show. If Motor City Machine Guns have to go to fucking NXT, Daniel Garcia has to go to NXT.
Yeah, it's true. But he ain't beating Obafemi for the North American title.
No, so. I don't think he's going over there. I don't think he'd be going over there winning anything anytime soon.
No.
But here's the thing. He wasn't on Dynamite this week. He wasn't on Collision. I don't even know if that match with him and MJF was even mentioned on AEW programming this week. So the deal is, if you don't want your momentum to stall and you intend on staying, put pen to paper and let's get your ass back on TV and get yourself your push.
Yeah.
If you're not staying, then I guess you're just off TV for the next month and you're going to show up in NXT in October.
You're Ricky Starks. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly think, though, if he stays, he re-signs, I think he's easily going to be international champion or TNT champion. Probably more likely TNT champion. I could see him knocking off Jack Perry. That could be definitely in the realm of possibility. We'll talk about the machine guns in a little bit because I do have some questions on that. But also, it makes kind of I'll tell you why it makes sense for them to go to NXT, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But very awesome match to start the pay-per-view off. We follow that up with a tag team championship match kind of thrown together. Very good match, but we all knew the Bucks were going to retain against Claudio and Wheeler. That was no surprise at all, but still a very good match. My God, Will Ospreay and Pac, match of the year candidate, put it down. Holy shit. This was great because we knew Will Ospreay had it in him. We knew Pac had it in him, but this is great because this kind of puts Pac in, people now talk about him a little more now. Maybe people didn't realize Pac was that good. Maybe they just realized
I think a lot of people forgot.
Gravity did, but the casual fan may not realize this guy could put together a hell of a match. And he proved it on this night at All Out. And Will Ospreay, man, this was just a classic. These guys were tremendous, and you're probably in agreement. This prize is going to be put into a match of the year category, right?
If this isn't up for a match of the year, a contender at the end of the year, I don't know what we're doing. And I don't know what the hell is going to take place over the next 4 months to make people forget about this match. This was one of my favorite matches of the year. I thought it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything that I liked more from bell to bell in terms of a single one-on-one match than this year than Pac and Ospreay. And that's saying a lot because there were a lot of great singles matches this year. But there's just something about those two guys together working. It was incredible.
The ways that Ospreay could hit the hidden blade out of nowhere. There were some very unique ways he did hit that. And Pac is one of the very few to kick out of a hidden blade too, by the way. And this is going to be mentioned for quite a while now. MK in the chat, the Bucks have ruined the tag division justice for the Outrunners. How about the pop the Outrunners got in that gauntlet match?
Look, I'm not a big Outrunners guy, but they're getting over.
They're getting over,
slowly
bro.
but surely warming up to them. God bless them.
Yeah.
I think the Casino Gauntlet tag match on Dynamite exposed the overall lack of depth in AEW's tag team division right now, more so than anything else that they've done in recent months.
Yeah.
I think the match was a very bad idea. I think it should have been done to introduce some new tag teams and remind people why the AEW tag division was so great back in the day. And I think it just exposed their issues more than anything else.
Yeah. Next up, a match, hard match to follow, but the Chicago street fight between Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander. I think it did a very good job in a hard spot to follow Pac and Ospreay. I thought Willow and Chris did a tremendous job. The entire match, keeping the intensity level up. A definitive win for Chris Statlander. I thought these ladies did a great job here, Matt.
There was literally nothing else on this show that could have followed Pac and Ospreay other than this match. I thought that when they announced that was coming up next, I'm like, oh my god, they put them in the death slot. I'm like, they're screwed. And
Yep.
they understood the assignment and they passed with flying colors. Major props to Willow and Chris. That match was so much fun. Really, really great match. And like
splits on
Mercedes said she thought it was one of her favorite women's matches of the year.
Yeah.
So
It was tremendous. The splits on the tax, that was, I mean, while she didn't really make contact, still the visual was funny. And then just beating the shit out of each other in what has been a very long and tremendous feud with these two ladies. Ricochet shows up in the frame as Will Ospreay is being interviewed by Renee. He's getting a little snippy with Ospreay, putting his name in his mouth. So just wait though. We gotta be patient, but it'll come.
I'm guessing Wrestle Dreamer Full Gear at this point.
I hope not Wrestle Dream because I just got booked to DJ a wedding, so I won't be watching it live. So let's go Full Gear, baby. But yeah, man, shit they're gonna do in that match. Jeez. 4-way for the Continental title: Okada, Orange Cassidy, Takeshita, and Mark Briscoe. Yet another good match. At the same time, thought maybe this would be a way you could get the title off of Okada, but at the same time, it almost felt like it was obviously going to be Okada at some point. Though, do you think Takeshita is going to be the guy to take it off Okada?
Well, that's what I've said on the show before. I believe the finals of the Continental Classic this year are going to be Takeshita and Okada, and Takeshita's going to beat him.
Well, what a big win that'll be for his career too.
Yeah, and that'll make him.
Yep.
I mean, he had the great performance this year in the G1, so he'll duplicate that with the Continental Classic this year, and he will get the biggest win of his career over Okada at World's End. It's money as far as I'm concerned.
No, Ozzy, I'm not getting married. I'm DJing a wedding. Mercedes Moné, Hikaru Shida was not exciting at all.
I liked the match until like the final 3 minutes when it seemed to just like they lost, like they were both somehow they were not on the same page in like the final 3 minutes of the match, and it got clusterfuckery.
Does that not seem to be a pattern with Mercedes? This just seems like an odd. This run just does not seem like a good one.
Know. It started with the three katanas and Mercedes like rolling out at the 1 count or whatever. Like at that point, like the match went off the rails. I don't know what happened.
Her and Britt was not a good match. She didn't
even really comment on the match in her little weekly blog thing that she puts out. So, but, I mean, I don't know.
We're coming up on a pattern of stinkers from Mercedes.
She had a great match at Capital Collision, and her last match with on Dynamite was good. You know, it's just her pay-per-view spots have her match with Willow was good. It's just like her last 2 pay-per-view matches have not been the best. We start with Britain, then the finish of the one with Shida. So we'll see where we go from there.
We get the final countdown. Bryan Danielson, your AEW World Champion, coming out to take on Jack Perry, and this one damn near going a half an hour. Basically, the highest profile match of Jack Perry's career. What did you think of his performance in there with the Dragon?
I thought it was a good match. I didn't have any issue with it. Like to me, the finish was never in doubt.
No.
Jack Perry sold the hell out of the Psycho knee.
Ooh, yes, he
which
did.
is probably the best sell I've ever seen of that move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the match. I thought it was good. It was honestly, it was exactly what I expected it to be.
What about the end? Did you expect that?
No. Well, I expected the turn from Mox. I didn't expect the turn from Claudio, and I sure as hell didn't expect the plastic bag.
Oh, that was a little, but like the funniest part, not funny, but maybe kind of funny, was just the fact that literally Bryan didn't sell the uppercut, but it knocked him on his ass. It was like he was in such shock he didn't sell it.
He's stunned by the betrayal than
he was in such shock it didn't even affect him like physically outside of it knocking him on his ass, but he never lost that shocked look on his face. He never went, "Ow, that hurt." It was kind of a unique way of doing it. I honestly liked how that went down.
Yeah, so did I.
Wheeler Yuta being held back by Pac as Bryan's getting paper or plastic bagged on him, man, that was a sick visual. But hey,
Yuta had an incredible performance on Collision this week with his interview before the match and how he handled the match itself. Like,
yes,
Yuta's doing some of the best character work of his entire career.
He needed
in the last week and a half.
Because
so
being in the
Yuta, man,
being in the BCC, you didn't get to see that as much. And even in tag matches with Bryan or tag matches with Claudio, you don't get to see that much. Now you're getting that part of Yuta, and I'm excited to see where this goes. I saw someone in the chat. Let's see here. Someone in the chat mentioned maybe Garcia and Danielson and Yuta kind of forming together or something. Yeah, Garcia needs to join Danielson alongside Yuta to fight the new Mox group there. And also somebody that's well needed something in the company, Marina Shafir. And I'm liking what they're doing with Marina. She's just basically whooping everybody's ass, whoever's standing in front of it. And she's just basically being the mercenary for Mox. And I kind of like that position that she's in there, because I mean, outside of that, we really didn't have much. Well, we had a thing with Nyla Rose for a little bit, that really didn't go anywhere. So it's kind of cool to have something for Marina Shafir too, which I think fits in perfectly with this group. I absolutely love what they're doing with this group. Now you got Claudio in there. What do you do with the trios titles?
Well, AEW already fucked that up earlier this summer with what they did to Bullet Club Gold. So if Wheeler's not willing to defend with them, they need to be stripped of the trios championships. There's already precedence. You can't go back on that now. You can't let Mox defend them with them because you screwed it up when you had to get cute with Bullet Club Gold this summer. So you backed yourself up into a corner, AEW. Wheeler either needs to defend with them or they need to be stripped.
Does Yuta buy in?
Perhaps eventually. I don't know if that's something that's going to happen overnight.
Do you think that's the story they're going to go down?
He might be the reason Danielson loses to Moxley when the title's on the
line. Stephen Chambers, yes, condolences to Yuta, his aunt passing away, which led to that very emotional promo on Collision. Shafir getting TV time more than Roderick. It's about right. That the Adam Cole injury. Maybe they should. I don't know. I mean, you had to do that reveal sooner than later.
I don't think they thought he was going to be out this long.
That too. It's just
it's been a year for this ankle injury, dude. It's insane at this point. So I don't believe AEW thought he was going to be out this long. I thought they probably figured they could run this when they did, and he would have been back well in time into 2024 to make this all work, and it just didn't happen. I'm hoping he'll be back soon. Apparently, I can't remember what wrestler said it, but one wrestler said that Cole was at All Out backstage and he was walking around fine.
Okay, good.
So that sounds like a good sign. He was probably there to check with the doctors.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not too far off. Maybe he makes a surprise return at Grand Slam, like he returns a year after.
Yeah.
After the injury.
I don't know.
Yeah.
After the jump. Yeah, I mean, he's sorely missed. Just they're really just pissing in the wind right now. The Undisputed Kingdom. There's something that needs to be done. Main event time of the best feud in AEW, probably one of the best feuds of the year. The best feuds are obviously 1 and 1A between Punk and Drew and Hangman and Swerve. And we got our finale inside of a cage on the AEW side of things at the main event of All Out. And boy, did they bring out some shit. A goddamn hypodermic needle.
That's the only thing I didn't like.
In the mouth?
Needle, man. I don't like needles. I'm not a needle guy. I'm not a needle fan. So when I see a needle in the mouth, I'm like, no. But other than that, I thought the match was incredible. I loved it.
Were there drugs in the needle?
We don't know. No one knows. But they look. They took things to another level above the Texas Death Match. I felt it was
Yeah.
something they needed to do.
Yeah.
And I thought the match was great.
I liked Paige bringing out a piece of the wood from the burnt down house. I thought that
Like
was
a freaking vampire's steak.
I thought that was pretty cool to kind of to bring into the match. Swerve stapling his family photo onto Hangman was kind of funny. Though we've seen the staple gun so many times in pro wrestling. Thank you, GCW.
Yeah, but I feel like Hangman and Swerve in their last two matches have used the staple gun to perfection.
Yeah. And those are real staples, not it's not an empty clip in that thing, by the way. Boy, some of just ow. But in the end, after the needle, Swerve got hit with a stiff chair shot, and Paul Turner called it knockout. Hangman Page gets the win. And I mean, even on Dynamite right after, I mean, he's still not satisfied. He's still angry Hangman. And nothing's going to make him happy. So I think we're just going to see a continuous downward spiral kayfabe-wise for Hangman, don't you think?
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, we got a little under 20 minutes till Raw time.
So much for quick all-out thoughts.
Yeah, well, it was a good show, so we had to talk about. SmackDown. Moving to USA Network. Loaded show. I think the first half hour was commercial free, maybe the first hour. But boy, oh boy, what a start. We started out with the steel cage. Well, actually, we started out with Triple H welcoming us. Then we had the world title match. The first time I think the world title has been defended on TV since 2022. If I remember correctly.
The WWE Championship, yeah.
Just the WWE, okay.
Yeah, the world title's been defended multiple times.
I thought Solo looked damn good in this match, Matt. I think Solo did not lose much by losing this title match, though he's lost now 2 title matches. I thought he looked good in defeat. I think, obviously, we're heading towards a Civil War at War Games, don't you think? I guess it'd be...
I just wish Solo was out of the title picture.
I think he has to be now. I mean,
I hope so. I hope so.
Of course, the Bloodline doing Bloodline things surrounding Cody in the cage, saved by Roman Reigns. Still a little coldness between Roman and Cody. They ain't best friends, by the way. We'll get to more on that later. But we saw a bunch of past stars in the crowd. When I say in the crowd, they put them in the front row and then they leave immediately after they're off camera. KO is mystery partner Randy Orton, so he's back. Good to see the Viper back after chasing Gunther.
Ozzy, the microphone's cutting out. It's not by accident. It is by design. And the same thing Fox and USA do. They mute the crowd when there's chants that they don't like.
Yep.
What WWE needs to do is they need to up their TV programming from TV PG to TV 14.
Yep.
And then we won't have to worry about the crowds being muted anymore.
Nope.
Just freaking make the damn move. You have TV 14 on Peacock. You don't mute any of the crowd chants on Peacock. Just move the freaking thing up to 14 on Raw and SmackDown and NXT, so we don't have to worry about like being taken out of the programming every week with these stupid blanking chants. It's annoying as hell.
Yeah, like I mean, Fox was annoying in itself, but NXT is annoying too. You get a holy shit chant every once in a while there, and
SmackDown did it multiple times on Friday night on USA.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Let's come on. In the women's picture, we got a tag match coming up this Friday with Tiffany and Nia against Bayley and Naomi. If Bayley and Naomi lose, whoever gets pinned has to leave SmackDown. However, if Naomi or Bayley win, whoever gets the pin gets to face Nia at Bad Blood. I'm going to go on a limb and say Naomi's getting the pin and she's taking on Nia at Bad Blood. But do you foresee maybe one of them getting booted and maybe ends up in Raw?
I don't foresee either. I don't foresee either of them getting booted. Naomi makes sense because I don't know if they want to run right back to Bailey and Nia already.
I think we're saving that for Survivor Series. Honestly, that's why I'm going with Naomi here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And boy, Tiffany, you see the seeds getting planted. Andrade Carmelo 5. I've asked for a best of 7. They gave me 5, so I will take that. Thank you,
Mr. We've had enough.
I haven't had enough.
Let's move on, please.
I haven't had enough.
I've had enough.
Thank you, Mr. Levesque, for at least giving me 5. Andrade gets the win. He'll take on LA Knight at Bad Blood. Yeah, he'll take on LA Knight at Bad Blood for the.
No, he'll take on LA Knight this Friday night on SmackDown.
Oh, is it Friday? Oh,
yes.
Geez. I thought it was Bad Blood.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta keep in mind, dude. Bad Blood's already got like 5 matches on the card.
Yeah, we're at capacity.
Yeah, and they still haven't put on the Gunther Sammy match. So if that gets on Bad Blood, that's 6 matches. They might end up relegating Gunther and Sammy to a fucking episode of Raw before Bad Blood. Like, I'm hoping they just give them 6 so that match gets on the show.
Yeah.
But there's already like 5 matches on Bad Blood. I feel like they're at capacity right now.
Yeah. Cody saying he's done with the Bloodline, so we're like, oh, he's not gonna
work out.
We all knew better, didn't we, Matt?
I wanted him to be done. I wanted him to be done.
But you knew better. You knew him and
your word, Cody. You said you were done.
You knew they were teaming. You knew.
Know. It doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
Can they coexist? Anyways, yes. Cody finally signs the contract with Roman Reigns, and we get Solo and Jacob Fatu against Cody and Roman at Bad Blood. Boy, that's gonna be fun. Just to see Jacob and man, good thing it's on Peacocks because we're gonna get holy shit chance when Jacob and Roman clash.
I love you, Solo.
My God,
I love you.
He looks at Solo like Paul Heyman looks at Roman Reigns, and it is so.
I need Paul Heyman back. By the way,
I can't believe he's not back.
Absolutely, positively need Paul Heyman back.
Yeah. Man, Jaco, thanks for joining us, man. Good to see you. Hikuleo shows up at Bad Blood, says Steven Chambers. That'd be interesting.
Oh, it makes sense. They've had him under a deal for months. He's just sitting at home collecting a paycheck. You might as well burn him in soon.
Yeah.
Bad Blood makes sense.
So good SmackDown.
They banned the Bloodline from ringside. Like, Gorillas of Destiny is banned, and they introduce a new guy and help them win. Like, that would make sense.
Very good episode of Dynamite as well this week. You had some great matches, such as Jack Perry taking on Leo Rush, Ricochet taking on Sammy Guevara. But the big news, Matt, is it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh, Nigel McGuinness calling out Bryan Danielson.
Brutal Bryan.
Oh, my God. He's been teasing this on commentary for so damn long, and we're finally getting the payoff. What does Bryan? How do you expect Bryan to react? The American coward, as Nigel called him. Do you think he agrees right away, or does he just say?
Well, we ain't got a whole lot of time, dude. It's not this Dynamite; it's the Dynamite after this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you ain't got time to really build it anymore. Danielson's got to answer this week.
Yeah.
Or Collision at the latest.
I wish there was more of I wish we had more time, though, to have more promos.
I guess if they want to, they could literally go all the way to Grand Slam where Nigel's in the ring and they do the Danielson has to the count of 10 to come to the ring, or Nigel wins the match by forfeit.
But we need promos from these two guys. We need a promo exchange. We need more than one.
I hope we get one. I'm just saying they're running out of time. I stand firm. The Jack Perry match wasn't needed. When Danielson asked for an open challenge for All Out, it should have been Nigel.
Yeah.
And Moxley should have won the Casino Gauntlet at All In to explain his eventual title shot against Danielson instead of taking away Darby's for no reason.
Yeah.
Those are my opinions, and I'm sticking to them.
But man, he's been teasing it for so damn long, and then you see him in the casino mat in the gauntlet match there, and looking good, by the way.
Steven, 100%. This match was absolutely going to take place at All In last year, but Danielson's injury, prevented that from taking place, unfortunately. So
yeah, it was amazing how good Nigel looked in that gauntlet match at All Out, and that just put all doubts aside that we're getting this baby. Maybe this stretches over a couple pay-per-views.
I don't think Danielson's going past WrestleDream.
God.
I don't. Whether it's Darby, whether it's Box, or whether it's a three-way, or whatever direction they decide to end up going in, I think Danielson drops the title in October, and I think his full-time in-ring career ends in Washington.
So he just keeps working without a contract, basically.
Well, he's going to go away for a while, and if he really needs to have the neck surgery like he claims he does, he's going to go have that.
Yeah.
And then, maybe we'll see him at some point next year.
But he's still working with no contract, so he's just going to keep working with no contract up until.
I would imagine. I would imagine after his full-time career ends, the AEW will sign him to some kind of backstage.
Yeah.
Contract or whatever, a non-wrestler contract. But for all we know, that's already been signed.
Possibly, yeah.
They easily could have signed him to that, because it's all wording and stuff. My wrestling contract expired on August 1st. Blah blah blah. Yeah. For all we know, he could have been signed to a backstage contract with the company already. So who knows?
A couple days ago, Sean Ross Sapp announced on a free post on Fightful Select that one of the best tag teams of this generation is heading to the big time WWE. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, Motor City Machine Guns are going to WWE. And sources have claimed that they are going to report to NXT. Obviously, I say, it makes a little bit of sense in reference to they've been in the game for so long, so they got to learn how WWE does production, which does it differently than anybody else, than Impact, than AEW, than anybody. So I think it's going to be a fairly short stint in NXT, but it's probably, just to get them used to the production side of things. No big deal, because there's some good tag teams in NXT, but Matt's shaking his head, thinking they should just jump right to the main roster, huh? I get why.
One of the most legendary tag teams.
I'm just saying I get why.
In all of professional wrestling. The team who has won tag team gold everywhere they've been. You're going to throw them on fucking NXT. You're going to throw them on the fucking developmental brand. And I get you want to pop a rating over on the CW for a few weeks. But I'm telling you, by the time we get to the Royal Rumble, if the Guns are still in NXT, I'm going to be on here ranting. I'm going to be on here ranting hard. You put them on there for a few weeks, pop your little CW numbers. That's fine. But come WrestleMania season, the Guns better be on Raw or SmackDown. Period.
Steven
End
Chambers,
of story.
Why is Kiana James not on the active roster? She's injured right now.
Yeah, she's sidelined with some sort of injury. I don't know what.
There was supposed to be a romance storyline with Adam Pearce that was off the table because she got hurt.
I didn't even hear about that.
Oh yeah, I saw that on WrestleVotes, I think it was, some site that I kind of trust.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about that.
Yep. Minor update on Charlotte Flair. It looks like not going to see her in 2024. The knee injury, very, very severe with the ACL, MCL, and meniscus. And so it is very likely that it's going to be 2025 before we see the Queen. And boy, I cannot wait for a Tiffany Stratton's Charlotte Flair feud. That is going to that could be WrestleMania, Matt, this year if she's ready.
It could be.
Yeah.
I think she'll be in the ring come WrestleMania.
She's a warrior, so it wouldn't surprise us that she beats the schedule, on something that severe. But obviously, a lot of rehab for that knee.
Honestly, your obsession with thinking that I need alcohol is fascinating, because Jeremy's the alcoholic of this tandem.
I'm not an alcoholic.
MK, I don't think you're wrong here. I really don't. WWE has never been good with booking masked talents beyond Rey Mysterio.
Dragon Lee,
They,
wow,
they've
look what they're
treated
doing.
Dragon Lee like dog shit.
He finally got off the milk carton the other day.
They treated Mystico like garbage as Sin Cara.
And he's like, he's a PWI top 10 this year. Mystico.
Dude, MK, if they're booked like crap, like, look, I'm not arguing with you.
Nope.
I don't think they're going to have a good time in WWE. I don't think their style is going to mix in with what WWE likes to do. And Penta's insistence on wanting to do the package power driver and Triple H telling him no. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to go as well for them as they think it's going to go.
I mean,
I've seen way too many masked luchadors go through WWE through my lifetime and treated like garbage, and I don't think it's going to be any different for the Lucha Brothers. I really don't.
Yeah. I'm not the alcoholic. I don't go to meetings. There you go. Let's see. I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, I mean, remember back when in Lucha Underground, like when Penta did that arm breaker thing, people were off TV for a month. That was like, now you see him do it all the time, and it's like,
yeah, like he did it all the time in TNA, he did it all the time in AEW. And
they're back a week later.
Yeah, it means nothing nowadays.
Looking ahead to this week in professional wrestling, Dynamite occurring this Wednesday. All I've seen so far is I've seen a women's tag match, and then a big one coming up, though, a six-man tag match. The Young Bucks and Okada taking on Will Ospreay, Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher. That'll be a damn good match. There's a women's tag. I don't know. Have you heard anything else besides those two matches?
Yeah, there's a few matches. I'd have to go look them up. I was not prepared.
Yeah, I mean,
I honestly did not think we would get to the point where we'd have time to even run down Dynamite. So,
yeah, I just like the days when they just put the entire schedule on one graphic and we had it there.
Somebody write down this Ozzy prediction so we can bury him next week in the chat, because there's no way, this is going to be the final score. And Ozzy, you better show up next Monday night, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah,
I want you backing down after you putting up this 45-20 Ravens over Cowboys next week. I don't think it's happening.
Queen Aminata, Yuka Sakazaki taking on Mariah May and Serena Deeb, and that's all I can find. So
and what do you think about this JBL shit that's going on in every company other than WWE and AEW right now?
I guess I missed the note that he was in GCW and MLW. I saw when he was whispering to Dolph and TNA, but
yeah, he showed up at GCW. And
he doing the same gimmick, whispering in people's ears.
Yeah, he showed up at MLW this weekend and took out some guys and whispered in Brock Anderson's ear before leaving.
So he's like trying to he's building an indie stable.
It seems like he's trying to build some kind of like indie faction.
Yeah.
That would be led by seemingly Nick Nemeth, because that's the first person he's been, aligned with.
Who did he talk with at GCW?
I can't remember.
But MLW was Brock.
I feel like he went in there and beat up. I think he went in and beat up Effie.
Oh, he beat up, but he didn't talk to anybody?
I can't recall if he talked. I don't think he talked to anybody there, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, he destroyed Effie at Homecoming. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with JBL.
It is top of the hour. Monday Night Raw is about to start. Damian Priest is going to destroy Dominic. CM Punk returns after the beatdown and the announcement of Hell in a Cell. Judgment Day defend their titles against the New Day. I'm expecting a title change, by the way. Braun Strowman.
I wish I was expecting a title change.
Well, actually, I said that when I thought Machine Guns were going to feud with them, so maybe not now. Braun Strowman against Big Bronson Reed, Sheamus, Pete Dunne, and Natalya against Zoe Stark. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost the Midcard. We will be back at you next week at 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central. Enjoy Raw. Follow us on the Twitter. We'll be live tweeting during it. And have a good week, and we'll see you next week.